Welcome, programmers. I want to continue on. We've got the print board working and the build board working. So now in our output, we're actually seeing the output of the chessboard. And I want to say I'm pretty happy with the way things are going so far. Our methods are pretty short, and they do one thing, which is our focus for these methods. Let's go ahead and fill out a little bit more of the check for queen's safety method. So what we want to do here is we want to check the whole board and see if queens are safe. And I don't know how you feel about checking a board, but I usually do it row by row. I'll go in the first row, find the queen, and then see if that queen is safe. So that's the kind of approach that I would like to do here. So we're going to, we'll leave return true in there for right now. But let's create a new variable, a bool variable, saying queens are safe. And without knowing anything else, we'll assume that all the queens are safe until we find a reason not to believe that. Now, if we want to go through each of these rows in our array, we need to go through and use a loop. We'll use a for loop. So we can have for int I equals 0. That's the first element of our array. I less than 8. And then I plus plus. So we want to loop through each row, and really what I'd like to say is if that queen is safe, then as far as I know, the queens are safe. So I'm going to think about this in terms of, I want to create another method. And let's make a private one here. I'll make it right here so I can see both at the same time, then I'll move it later. Private bool is queen in row attacking. And I'll pass in the row of the queen. Right, so what I want to do is I want to find out if the queen in my row is attacking. If it is, then I know my queens aren't safe. So now I can say queens are safe equals is queen attacking, and I'll pass in the row that I'm on. But that's not quite right, because that will reset it every time I go through a new row. So really, I want to take this value and I want to AND it with what it was before. Because if queens are not safe, it doesn't matter if the queen in my row is attacking or not, I should leave it as safe. So if I want to AND it, if I want to combine a true and a false and always get back a false, I need to use the AND. And I'll use a short, if I use short circuit AND, what that means is once I find out the queens are not safe, I don't need to check any more rows. So I can put that up here. And then once the queens aren't safe, I won't even have to call this function anymore. Yeah, that should be the loop that I need for check for queen safety. And I could do the same thing here. Return true. And if I do that, now I don't need to return true anymore. Now I can start returning the queens are safe variable. So let's put that in here. And it is running. So now what I can do is I can start to look to see if my queens are attacking. And the first thing I'll need to do is find my queen. So and I'll need a new method for that. Find queen in row, and I'll pass in the row of the queen. And that should be enough to get me started to looking for whether that is attacking or not. So let's make this private variable also, or private method. Find queen in row, so that is going to return an int. I can see my bug right there. Private int find queen in row. It's going to pass in row of the queen. And then I need that to return the row or the column of queen. I'm kind of running low on time here, so I'm going to go ahead and stop my video and we'll pick this up. Oh, I got a spelling error there. So before I go, let's make sure my code is still running. And I do have an error. Find queen in row, not all code paths return a value. Find queen in, also this doesn't, so I can have it just return -1. And there, now it works. All right, we'll continue later with the next video.